No, I mean, specifically for us, I mean, we are ultimately emerging market investors, right? So for us, the last few years have been, the way I put it, emerging markets have been tested through fire, right? COVID shock, then Russia-Ukraine war, then the rate hiking cycle, and so on and so forth, right? So that has been, I would say, more on the challenge side, how to think about emerging markets, which are anyway always sort of given the short end of the stick. On the other hand, we have the other argument, which is dollar has been overextended, right? The last 15 years, the asset class which has worked the best is dollar and the US big tech. So the question is, are the investors taking the other side of the argument or not? And the way we have seen in our own experience is, as always, the room is split. You'll find some investors who really want to continue with the momentum ride, which is like S&P and NASDAQ and the US big tech continue to be the darlings and will keep dancing till the music is playing, right? And we have found many investors who are willing to take the other side of the bet, but the difference is many of them are more long term, that look, we really want to believe that as always the tide will turn. These are the cycles which always happens. So we are willing to take a 5 to a 10-year bet, and accordingly they have invested in a fund with that kind of a mindset as well. But at the same time, the truth is that the last few years have been a big question mark. This year, tide has changed. Dollars has changed, and people are becoming a little bit more psyched about international investing. But the last few years, and we have been live for almost 3.5 years, the big question mark was that we do believe the tide needs to turn, but we'll time it, right? So from that perspective, our experience, I think, has been pretty decent, that you can find investors who do believe in the long-term story and who can take preemptive bets. But for a decent chunk of investors and LPs, the question is that we'll stay put and we'll try to see when the tide really turns.